Greetings and salutations, this is Imperator Vespasian and his trusty sidekick.
Hello.
Today we're bringing you our Type 94 tankettes for our Imperial Japanese Army. And, well, what do you think of tankettes?
Too small for me.
Too small? Okay. I quite like tankettes. They're not tanks, they're tankettes. They're tiny little things, little two-man tanks, and they have only a machine gun. So they're not exactly going to be able to make a huge difference to the battlefield if you're fielding lots of tanks, but they are quite useful little things to have, because if you're playing a game with just mainly infantry with no tanks or even anti-tank rifles and stuff, then tankettes can come in very useful, can't they?
Yeah, because machine guns and infantry can't take them out.
Yeah.
Unless they are trained infantry, like grenadiers.
Yeah, so a tankette is basically a mobile machine gun, and in bolt action machine guns are pretty impressive. It's an MMG has a rate of fire of 4 dice, so that's 4 shots.
4 chances to hit.
Yeah. It drives around firing 4 shots each turn, and infantry can't take it out because it's not a soft skin vehicle, it's a tankette, so you can't take it out with rifle fire or machine guns yourself. You need something like an anti-tank rifle or a mortar,
grenades.
Yeah, something decent that can actually try and take them on. So yeah, they can be very useful, but not if your enemy has a tank.
No,
Because
no.
if you come up against a tank, the tankette will simply get blown up.
All 3 of them.
Yeah,
If
so
they're facing a squad. Yeah.
yeah. So that's our overview of tankettes. The Type 94 itself was a Japanese-built tank, light tank. The idea behind the tank was direct infantry support and police duties. So they would be used in patrolling rear areas where partisans might be operating, or it would be used directly alongside infantry to help infantry assault targets. The tankette would be brought up and basically act as a mini pillbox, which is after all the original design of the tank. So yeah, during the 1930s, tankettes really were important. They were very useful things to have. Obviously, by the time the Second World War officially started, the tankettes were pretty much a joke.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Although all armies had tankettes, the British had a little tankette, although we had pretty much done away with them. The French had a very small version of tankette, but I think France had really gone into light tanks really by then. So by the time 1940, when Germany invaded France, the tankette had pretty much gone. Poland, do they use tankettes? I'm trying to think. No, they used a twin-turreted tank, didn't they, with machine guns?
Yeah, you had kind of a tank like a Chiha, a machine gun.
Yeah. So, this was the standard Japanese sort of tankette. There were 2 different versions of the tankette the Japanese used. This was the primary one. They were also used in a very small scale for beach landings because they were very useful to give infantry a bit of decent support when you're first landing. So they were dropped on the beaches in Malaya during the Singapore campaign, and really there was nothing the Australian troops could do about it because these didn't have any anti-tank guns. So if your enemy hasn't got anti-tank guns, they're brilliant. You can't stop them. It's like a Dalek, really. So it's like a Dalek. Just like, there you go. It is actually a Dalek. See, the tankette is a Dalek. Dalek, tankette, Dalek. There you go. But that's besides the point. I always thought Dalek looked like a tank, but never mind.
Oh God.
Its armour is 7+, which is pretty good because, as I said, it will prevent small arms fire from damaging you. Although if you come up against a heavy machine gun or a cannon or an anti-tank rifle, then you're in trouble. Yeah, you're in trouble. It's got a move of 9 inches because it's tracked, so it's quite fast. So that's not too bad. It's not fast, but it's a decent speed, isn't it?
Well, to every other tank, yes.
Yeah. Only has one machine gun, so you're only taking on infantry, basically. You're not going to be coming up against tanks. These guys will be useless against tanks. Okay, other rules. It has the recce special rule. The recce rule is very useful in bolt action. You know how that works? It does enable you to get your vehicle out of the range of the enemy if it's taken by surprise. So that's a useful little rule for it to have, especially with it being a tankette, and if it comes up against an anti-tank rifle, probably a good idea to bug out.
What happens if they don't know the anti-tank rifle's there? It's history anyway if it's hit.
Yeah, if it hits you, you're dead. So,
If
but
it
you do get a
misses-
reaction. You get a reaction to the fire. So
If it really happened, it'd be history.
yeah, it did happen. It did happen in Singapore. A single anti-tank gun unit took out an entire column of Japanese tanks. They took the front tank out, then they took the back tank out. The road was too thin for the tanks to get off, and there was a ditch either side. And then they just took each tank out, and there was nothing the Japanese could do, because the lead tanks were tankettes, and the rear tanks were blocked by the smoke. They couldn't see what they were shooting at. So yeah, it can work. Next thing, they're fanatics because they're Japanese. Doesn't matter too much for armour, but it is there, so it is quite useful. You don't have to take those annoying morale tests.
Like everything else and stuff.
Cost-wise, it's not overly expensive. A veteran tankette will put you back 84 points, so not a bad investment. Give you a veteran tank unit with 10 roll to activate and use. So yeah, not too bad. So that will cope better with pins from all that little small arms fire coming at you.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so if your machine gun's firing it, a heavy machine gun or cannon, you still may be able to react to it. But yeah, that's not too bad. Then the cheapest version is an inexperienced one at 56 points, which is basically the same cost, or almost the same cost as buying a normal machine gun.
Yes.
So it's basically a machine gun with a few extra points added for the armour.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. So puts you back the same as a mortar or machine gun.
And faster than a machine gun.
Yes. Yeah, it can move and fire at the
Yeah.
same time. Machine guns can't. Yeah.
Machine gun has to move, then wait till the next turn, then fire.
Yeah. So what tactics would you employ with these guys?
Infantry support. That's all I've got with that.
Yeah.
If you have tanks, if the enemy has tanks, try to avoid them. Don't go head on with them. It's stupid doing that, so try and get around them.
I tend to keep them in reserve.
I know you do, and you always fail with it.
No, because they do come in handy, because if you break through the lines, then I've got a tankette which can take the infantry by surprise. And it is a mobile pillbox, and you haven't got an anti-tank rifle with you, so they can become useful. Yeah, there's not really much we can say other than that, really.
No, because, I mean, if it had an anti-tank gun, different varieties you could do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, so.
It would have been useful if they'd have designed a tankette with some form of anti-tank ability,
They
but
did.
then again...
Poland.
Oh, yeah, that's different though. The Poland had the TKS tankettes, and they equipped those with 20mm cannons,
Yep.
which is quite good.
Scary.
Yeah.
Took out
Because it means
the
you can take
ends.
on... Yeah, it means you can actually take on not only light tanks, but tankettes and stuff as well. And the Germans and the Russians had quite a few rickety light tanks, so the 20mm cannon can be quite devastating.
Until you go to later war and it's useless.
Oh yeah, but we're fighting early war, so it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. I'd say the Polish tankettes were probably better than these, but there were still rickety things. Yeah.
And if you got a hit, then, like when I had the anti-tank rifle against them, and I shot them all to pieces.
Yeah.
Because this has got weak armour.
That's why the anti-tank rifle for early war rules.
Yeah, it does.
This is a cheap, light anti-tank weapon. It's not a field gun, but it will take apart things like tankettes and light tanks.
It only costs, so look here, for veterans 60, regular 50, inexperienced 40.
Right, so points-wise, it's actually not that much expensive. It's actually only slightly cheaper than a tankette.
Yep.
So it's a good investment to get an anti-tank rifle if you're going to be fighting an army that's going to field tankettes with it.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway, that's more or less it, isn't it? There's nothing really interesting to tell you about it. It is quite a dull subject, the Japanese tankettes early war. There's a lot more interesting things from some other Japanese tanks, but there's no special rules for it. No. A few of them were used by Chinese forces that were captured, but the Chinese didn't particularly like it because it was just it was hard to get the fuel, and they didn't have the rounds for the machine gun, so they had to swap the machine gun out. And if you use a normal machine gun, loads of smoke fills the interior of the tank, and then so you have to drive around with all the hatches open, meaning you may as well not bother having a tankette in the first place. Whereas the Japanese used smokeless powder, so they could fire a machine gun and it would take longer for the tankette to fill with fumes. Although it did eventually fill with fumes, and then you'd either suffocate to death or you had to open the hatches, in which case a ricochet bullet could still kill you. But I think even in the heat of battle, if you're choking to death, you still wouldn't open the hatches because it might be a bit dangerous.
Unless you're no longer surrounding from actual live bodies, and then you can open the hatch.
Yeah, then it's fine. Yeah.
Until you see a tiger tank come along from the future.
Yeah, well, in that case, a tiger tank would use these things as roller skates.
Probably.
Just put little things on top and just skate around on it. Actually, if you put a tiger on top of one of these, it would squash.
It would.
It's made out of tin, so it's not exactly the toughest material in the universe. But anyway, there we have it. That's the Japanese tankette, and
like every other tankette.
you will see them in action soon, which is a bit different to the other tankettes. The Polish one is a lot larger. I've got a Polish one here.
Which we've got a video of it.
Yes.
Yes.
This is the Polish tankette. You see them side by side. The Japanese tankette is slightly taller, giving it a better fire range. So you can see slightly further than the Polish. Also, the Polish is fixed in the hull, so it can only fire forwards. You have to physically move the tankette in order to fire. So I would say the Japanese tankette is superior to the Polish tankette.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Good point.
So, forget what I said earlier.
Yeah.
Although the Polish tankette didn't tend to fill with fuel because it had the gas would build up on the outside of the tank, so it wouldn't bother it. Whereas the Japanese, they had to use smokeless. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I don't think the Japanese are expecting it about to be that one.
No. But mostly they would only see combat during assaults. They would be brought in to support infantry that were moving forwards. Other than that, they'd be used in police actions, so they'd be behind your lines, protecting roads, convoys, things like that. They were used on the trains as well. The armoured trains carried little tankettes because they're useful against guerrillas, because guerrillas don't tend to carry out a tank gear. Although if you do come up against infantry with grenades, you're stuffed.
Unless you have support, which is why I said support.
Always
have support.
You should never find a tankette on its own without infantry. Never ever deploy them without infantry. Assign them to an infantry unit. One good idea is, instead of having its own initiative dice, make it part of an infantry unit, so then it acts alongside the infantry. Although if it gets damaged and has special rules to it, then special things happening to it, then you have to separate the dice. But you can activate it with a normal infantry unit and make it an integral part of the unit. You can do that, so that's entirely up to you. Is that what we do when we use it? I don't use Japanese, I use Chinese. So
I never use tankettes. I always go for the jihads or the My favourite one's this. I've got the name for it.
What?
This time.
Oh, that's the original. That's
My
the.
favourite one's the original. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is, but it's big. Even though it's a big target, meaning it could get pretty much killed any instant. It's got long range.
Yeah.
This is why I don't really go with tankettes.
Tankettes fill a niche. A niche where a big monster like that would be a waste. Yeah. Anyway, that is the end of the video. Thank you very much for watching. He does the outro.
So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think of the tankettes and which one you like better, the Polish or the Japanese. Also, we have a Patreon account.
Yeah.
So if you would like to support our channel, okay.
No.
If you'd like to support our channel, that'd be very, very grateful, and we will mention you at the end of the video.
Yeah, that's the card for it, in case anyone's interested.
That's everything from me.
And that's everything from him. Goodbye.
See ya.